Card, Mountain Dew League, and ESEA.
And welcome back to the ESL Pro League here for day number 2 on the B stream. I'm Asterix, this is Pilly, and we just saw Renegades take a punishing first map, and in a very good way. We're moving on to Overpass now, and Big have to make the reverse sweep, Pilly.
Yeah, they definitely do, but going into a map that's very, very comfortable for them, very much in their wheelhouse, then potentially they can do it. They can take out Overpass, and Renegades, you know, the argument is there for the 2-0. If they take the momentum and the insane firepower they had in that last map of Cash into Overpass, then potentially they might be able to edge this one out, but I'd expect it to be a 3-map.
I mean, they look so dominant as well. We started talking up players like Gratisfaction, like Liaz as well, especially when we talk about other players in that roster. It feels like maybe we're facilitating more towards the rising stars and the people that have recently fitted in.
Yeah, potentially. I'm not sure if that was necessarily what Renegades was going for, but I mean a little bit with Grat. But yeah, definitely keeping Jacob and it seems like JKS in roles that they're pretty comfortable with. And it feels like it should have been difficult for players like Grat and Liaz to perform well. Liaz's been a bit up and down compared to what he used to be on Order. But you really have to say this is an outstanding performance for players like Liaz and Grat to be able to perform that well against a team like Big. Because let's face it, a lot of younger players, a lot of younger talents from any region, even the more active ones like Europe, they will often struggle at this level. They will often struggle in games like this. It's very rare that they actually come through and perform and are able to stand out from the rest, and seeing performance like that, that's great to see.
Well, we're moving on to Overpass though, Pilly. And if the performance isn't given here by EU, by Big in particular, they will be eliminated. Elimination for both teams on the line. Renegades up 1. See if Overpass, the map choice for Big, works out. Renegades opted for CT side.
Did indeed. It's going to be a walk-through con from Big. 2 sets of utility again, just like their T-pistol on Cash. Extra flashbang this time around though.
Tabson peeking up, just gets tapped in the head by Azar. Jacob gets one on the other side, it's next. Smooya does eventually push through, but on the other side, going towards the B bomb site. JKS sitting in water by himself, but up in snipers. Liaz has a perfect positioning here with the USP. That nade hits Gob B pretty hard too. Smoke goes through, the flash to follow. JKS is still here, he hasn't been spotted. Coming up with the CZ. Tizian behind Pillar, but playing it slow, happy to as well.
Can potentially smoke the bomb, and Liaz can try and defuse. Brad's found the timing though from behind.
Oh, great flank there. 2 members already down. It's Renegades once more out of the smoke. Smooya gets popped. Booyah! And Big have dropped the first round once again. It's Renegades who take the lead. Great pistol round there.
Yeah, fantastic start from them. That's going to get the CT economy going nice and early on. Don't want to have to be working for that one too quickly into the piece. Over on the side of Big, though, they're going to drop an AK. Gob B throws that one over to Tabson. Probably just going to be the singular investment, I would imagine. And then just everyone will buy up into the next, and Gob B will go pistol armor with some util. I love this approach here for Big. Smooya, though, he's bought a Deagle armor, so potential for him probably not going to be picking up the AWP into the next round. Unless they do, take the win here.
Yeah.
And if he hadn't bought the Deagle armor and they got the bomb plant, he probably could have picked up the AWP, actually. So, interesting decision. Might really point towards the fact that Big want to be quite aggressive on this T side half of Overpass.
Playing forward, Jacob. He'll spot out next. But Next gets the same bit of information as well. Everyone hanging around towards Park and Party. And Jacob hangs all the way back in bathrooms.
They're just looking for information for Tabson to make his life easier. Find out where the players are so that him and Smooya have a better chance of being able to set themselves up in favourable aim duels. Because let's face it, if Big are going to come away with this round, those two will need to do some heavy lifting. 2 or 3k from each of them will need to be the standard.
Jacob again just finds Next, but nothing of him. Smooya takes a bit of damage through the smoke as well. Tries to get the Deagle tap onto Jacob's head. It's only a bit of damage there with the head armor. Gratifaction goes down. Something does work in the end, but Azza's still here on the side. The cleanup crew is coming in eventually. 3 members left alive. Next picks up an M4, but now asking for that 1v3 this round. Possibilities were endless at the start. Different story now. Not even going to pick up the bomb. Screw it.
He just wants to hold onto the M4, I'd imagine. He can throw it over to Goppy into the next. Although, I don't know. I guess it's overall better for their money. Even though next will probably have to go on the ump or something like that, maybe. We'll see.
2 guns taken away from Renegades, but it's their round. And their money is okay for now.
Interesting to see him hold on to that one. I guess it's a question of utility. He's actually, I think, has he dropped a Tech 9 over to Goppy? He might have done that. I don't know. It's hard to count all the pennies from where I'm sitting. Anyway, interesting decision being made. He has got full utility, which is going to help Big a little bit more. Goppy did drop the AK over to Tabson, so he's going to have to make do with the Tech 9, which is something I don't think he'll mind too much. Jacob, just a little pressure on connector. 3 players pretty early on towards the B side of the map. You see Azza in heaven there holding flashes for these B players. Just in case the Monster Rush does come out, he can return some flashes and make the job easier of clean up for those B bomb site players, which would be Liaz and JKS over there. As for the other 2 boys on Renegades, though, a little pressure into connector, a little pressure over towards bathroom, but then they fall back onto the bomb site, giving Big a lot of room to work with over towards toilet here. And if Big has a good A side execute here, then Renegades could be running into a few problems potentially. They've still got a lot of utility though. They're holding onto their util for a long time, just jump spotting, looking for information, looking for some of these big players. But the bomb's actually heading back towards B. Let's see how these rotations do actually consolidate for themselves, because this could potentially be quite dangerous for Renegades. Pressure onto that A bomb site, causing an extra rotation or 2 when JKS only has an MP5 and Liaz is out of utility. No Molotov to stop this B hit coming in from Big. Could be quite troublesome for Renegades to deal with, but they're doubling up towards Monster. If these flashes are even a pixel off, Big could be running into trouble.
A little bit of utility used on the A bomb site just to counter some of those flashes that were thrown in, but now the move's finally coming through. The flashes hit no one. It's just Goldby who gets affected by it. JKS doesn't even take the HE nade. Molly's into the back end as well. It's Liaz, it's JKS who are here, but Liaz doesn't land the spray on 2. Does take down Smooya, but it's a 2 for 1. JKM and JKS again. It happens. And it's left with Grat here, who's up in snipers, which has already been smoked out. He'll push through. And look at his angle. I don't know where he is, but he finds the spray down. Low health member.
No kit or grenades though, so this is going to be a pretty difficult one for him to win against Tizzy, and he does pick himself up a kit and make the job a little easier.
Making heaps of noise. Tizian peeking around from Sean. He makes the flick, but not in time. Tizian gonna move away. Grat just needs to get the spray down. 6% there. Even with the USP, he can't get it. Tizian, a crucial round for Big.
That was a mess. Felt like either one of those players could have cleaned each other up very, very quickly there, but bit of awkward exchange. I think Grat felt like he should have done more damage than he did, but those metal walls really acting like a big bullet sponge there for Tizian. And Big come away with it. A Renegade's pause. It's probably time to discuss whether forcing up in this round is worth it. Their money's absolutely in the bin on Azza and Liaz. They'll have to probably double save. And with only 1 alive on the side of Big, they're going to be running into some money woes. So saving in this scenario is going to give Big a lot of room to work with economically, as long as they clean these rounds out fairly convincingly. But if Renegades do force up, which I would probably like to back that option, and they win this one, it's going to put Big in a world of hurt.
Well, one moment gave Big an opportunity, and it stopped the flow of rounds from Renegade.
Question is, what is Renegades going to do with this lackluster buy? Are they going to play super standard? Are they going to stack certain parts of the map? It's going to be Jacob with the Mag 7 over towards Con. Can definitely get some work done there. Grat's going to scout towards Party. Gets himself the leg pretty early there, and that's going to signal to Big that this is almost definitely a buy. You're not going to just buy a scout as a throwaway.
Yep. It's the top of the head again. Grat won't find that one. But opening damage into next.
this setup towards short as well as connector is going to make things difficult for Big. It looks like they're actually opting to head back towards that monster area as a team. Although, Tizian walking through connector, that's difficult stuff. Jacob's already picked up Smooya. He picked up Tizian as well. It's all on the monster players.
Big moves for Jacob there. Azza still here with the CZ. Tabson gets the opener onto site. They've spotted him out in water. JKS coming in around the side, but they turn to short immediately. Now it's up to Jacob, who's just going to have to come through and hit hard. A 2v3 at this point, but Nex is low. Grat with the scout. He's done enough damage, but he needs kills right now. He drops down. At least drops his sight down. He doesn't find it. But now he knows where Tabson is.
Renegades just needed to buy time there and just wait for the double peaks to be coming out from some of their players. Grat, though, is going to pick up tabs on both of these two players on big or low, and they're close enough to the bomb to really feel it. So they're going to need to get out of here. Where's Jacob sitting right now? Is he going to be able to punish any T's? Doesn't look like it. Looks like he really wants to hold on to this AK. Another close round for Renegades. Big do win it, though. And will they force up again on the side of Renegades in a situation like this? There's potential for them to do it. There's also an argument against it.
Took a couple of guns off the side of Big that round.
Yeah, I mean, it was a close one and Big are running out of money, but I'd like to see Renegades just take it nice and conservative. Have Grat and Jacob maybe drop over some upgraded pistols and have these CTs just try to take as many guns off Big as they can once again. Get Jacob in a position where he can do the heavy lifting with the AK. We know that Grat can do a lot of damage with that scout, whether he's armorless or not. And then into the next round, you're going to have a good buy anyway. It's pretty early on in the half. You don't want to be putting your money firmly in the bin with plenty of rounds to go.
No. No, team like Renegades, when you talked before, Pilly, talking about momentum and how heavily it affects them. Well, if they take it conservatively, they can build that up once again. And they're taking your advice, leaving the AK and the scout in hand with a smoke and a flash. It'll be Renegades, the rest of them at least, on the save.
Again, we're seeing close rounds though, and Big run into a lot of money problems, just like the last map. Not a good sign. Jacob and Grat though, the two danger players are both on the A side of the map. This monster team comes in.
Cool shot from Tabson there onto JKS. Didn't have too much of a chance. Yeah, with the USP, can't disorder too much as well.
That's
Grat
two AKs.
an AK, yeah.
If they can hold on to these, then it'll be good for their money going forward. Not to mention the fact that they can potentially keep damaging Big's economy. Don't know that they're going to expect Tizian on the hunt this quickly, though. Hand in hand with Smooya.
Yeah, Smooya might be the issue. If Tizian gets the information long, Azza going to peek out bathrooms now. The head, and just the head. Grat sitting behind tree and rock. Tizian hasn't spotted him, though. He turns around. That rock is a pain in the ass. And Smooya knows it, so he comes in just in time. No AK saved over by Renegades, but you look at the money now, that shouldn't be an issue. We're going to have a full buyout.
Yep, and a little bit cleaner of a round there for Big is good. It's going to start to build their money a little bit more. Even if they lose this round, they're going to be able to buy into the next, which is what we want to see. Grat's going to have the AWP. Pretty limited util on Liaz and Azza. So, potentially troublesome round for Renegades. See if they started off strong. Grat's actually picking up that AWP over towards long, and his pacing is very quick. Tabson's quick out short B though, and that's going to put a lot of pressure on Renegades to start to use their utility on short and monster on the B side of the map. They don't have much to work with, so if they use it really early, they're not going to have it for later on, and that's going to make it a lot easier on Big.
I was going to say, Azza didn't get the information out either, and Tabson is able to push through.
Look at this from Big. They're not doing anything. They're throwing Molotovs to barrels. They're throwing flashes over the top, and it's forcing Renegades to actually throw this utility. Liaz is holding on to his, but JKS, he's having to throw out nades right and left. He's had to use his smoke on Monster. Big's just trying to bait out the utility and make the job easier later on. It's working out pretty decently for them. The question is, is counter flash going to be good from him?
JKS burns a little bit before moving behind that smoke towards Monster. Smooth's the only one who's taken a bit of damage, but flashes out. Tabson pushing through now as well. JKS going to be the first one to drop down. Smooth takes down Liaz, and Azza does get Tabson, so hope now for Renegades if they can continue this forward. Azza sitting in water, but Gratisfaction comes through with the AWP. Smooth is low, has to retreat back. It's JKM, it's Gratisfaction again, and Jacob starts cleaning this one up before dropping. Azza gets the last one there, and Renegades with a big win round.
So the pacing of that they execute was great from Big to stall out the utility, but it gave Renegades so much more time to rotate. You had pretty much the entire team from Renegades into that bomb site and fighting at different times with Big as they came in as well. So, you know, maybe not a decisive enough move there from Big. They did a good job stalling things out. They did a good job baiting the utility and putting themselves in a favorable scenario, but they weren't decisive enough with that strike on the B bomb side at the right time. Gave too much room for Jacob and Grat to be able to work with. Gave too much room for Azza, who's able to peek up multiple times from that water position unpunished.
Oh, Jacob having definitely a spotlight game here on Overpass. You might just say that about the whole team if Renegades... Well, they're not even recovering at this point. Just holding fast with Big. 3 apiece.
Very important round for both teams. Both teams absolutely broke. This is going to really show which team starts to put a solid foothold into this map, into this half.
Great with a peek above the smoke as well. That flash does nothing. Watch where Godby is. The head not found. Next actually going to push through this smoke. Flashes out once again. Tizian coming up from Con. And Gratisfaction's already parked his way back. As you're saying before, Pilly, they get the information, they back away. They're happy to let Big come to them.
Grat's potentially going to be able to get a kick here. Smooya good on the counter AWP, both very aware of where the angles that the other AWP could come in from. Smooya, where the hell was that shot from?
Too sure. He gets Grat in the end as well. That's 2 quick kills for Smooya. This has broken the round wide open for Big. Now the push coming through onto the A side. Azza left here by himself. I'm not sure how he's going to fare. Smooya doesn't get the opener that time, but Next covers him. And now 3 for Big. Bombs going down on A, and Renegades lost the round before it's even started.
Dude, they have. It's great stuff from Big.
Where was Jacob?
He was back on the site. I think he was jump spotting. All the way back on the site, and Smooya picks up short A and picks him. I think that's what happened.
Okay.
Anyway, I mean, Big, they're just taking their time. Getting great position here, mostly for God B, I would imagine, to be able to potentially backstab Renegades. That Big aren't getting the bomb down because they want to be able to make sure they hunt these last 2 players down and really put Renegades' economy firmly in the bin. And this is going to be a bit of a different game, I would say, Jake, than the last. Because Renegades they play completely differently when they're having a little bit more trouble. When they're front running, they play with full confidence. All the individuals farragging hard, powering up. But when they run into some problems, they can start to make some questionable decisions. They can start to play a little bit more hesitant.
Well, no hesitancy there from JKS, but as you said, they're going to be playing from behind. After Big take this round, only 1 M4 travels its way through on the side of JKS. The economy was trash before, but now for Renegades, it looks even worse. It just hasn't been the vote of confidence that we thought moving into Overpass. A couple of good rounds, a couple of powerful rounds from the Renegades. But Big have had their showcase of similar rounds this time. Totally different story from Keish, where they held, they were strong, they had rounds, but it was always the Renegades being 1 step forward. Looks like an equal number here.
Due to Jacob and Azza pretty much being double eco from that scenario on $1,500 they force, Liaz, he buys up as well. Grat's the only one he doesn't because he wants an AWP later on. These flashes are money. Liaz can't see, blinder than Ray Charles.
Fair enough. Well, I mean, he's very blind at the moment because he's dead. It's not all the sight to see. It's taken away from JK as the flash comes through. Next gets dropped down. Bob's actually down here. But JKS takes that big hit to the head again. Low health from everyone on Renegades. They just need taps. But they're not going to find it. Good flashes coming through from Big. They push back out. JKS sitting here in water. He can't get taps and left in a 2v1. With the AK, potential for one taps, but with head armor, becomes increasingly hard. And Jacob might just be saving this AK to the next round.
He's got a much better chance of doing damage with it in the next round than he does in this. Going for this clutch probably wouldn't end up very well for him unless he gets very fortunate with the timing. But, you know, the magical medics of Counter-Strike are going to heal him to 100 HP next round, where he's going to have armor still. He can drop a CZ to a teammate and he can still do damage with that AK to Big, who, let's face it, 3 died this round. Again, very big money woes for Big because they... Yeah. Can they win a round cleanly? I've seen it very rarely. The tabs then even goes down to the bomb. 1 alive against, I mean, I guess you would call it a force buy. Full investment from Renegades outside of Grat and some extra firepower. But the thing is that Big losing this kind of money control, it's going to really come back to bite them later on in the half if the next buy from Renegades is successful and they start to make a run back into this one.
Well, Big might get away with it this round at the very least, but that question will have an answer to it in the next one. Being Big, excuse me, that's very being not the best website. I'm a Google man. I don't know if you can tell.
I knew it as soon as I saw you, Jake.
Bing's too many ads. A little bit of damage on Tizian.
A little bit, yeah.
He's dead. There's my meeting there. JKS will drop down as well. Each and every round, Big take a bit of damage. And the damage in losing players is usually the case. These Renegades disrupting some of that flow. I think it's interesting to see the difference between these two teams. Not so much in skill, because this game, I'm not too sure where they sit, but about style. Renegades, their self-confidence at the moment is still quite high after what we saw on Cache. Great, can't get anything there either. So that flow disruption has ended there with only 1 kill onto Tizian. Next round is going to be everything. Jacob takes through the AK.
That's a clean one for Big though, which is going to put them in a better position to be able to continue to buy. Probably got another 2 good gun rounds left in them. Maybe more. Even if they continue to lose. If Renegades lose this one though, it's going to be another save.
Might be looking at similar position we saw on Cache, but this time Big will be the ones in control.
I mean, really, they have been in control. They've been fantastic at taking this short water control. They've been fantastic at taking long and bathrooms, and Renegades have been giving them both. Renegades have very rarely fought for control of these areas. This is going to be a difference here as Jacob pushes up towards the fountain, but in general, if Big wants short B control, Big gets short B control. If Big wants toilet, Big gets toilet. JKS on the secondary ult gets a pick and Jacob can't get it done. That's going to be very bad for Renegades because look at their positions. Big starts to get control of the map now. Renegades has to fall all the way back. If they had just kept that man advantage, we'd be talking about a different story.
Grat, he was the one sitting on top of smoke with AWP. And that would have been the killer. He's pushed all the way back to a bomb site. Another opener there by Smooya. It was onto Grat. I don't know, Smooya's hitting some good shots this game.
I mean, talk about AWP on AWP. Smooya's definitely been the better of the two.
Yeah.
But overall, you'd have to argue for Grat there.
JKS just takes a barrel of grenades.
I think Smooya's picked Grat like 4 or 5 times. I think Grat's picked Smooya maybe once.
Yeah, I think Grat was looking better on the AKs especially.
Yep.
On Cache.
Well, no AK on CT side.
Well,
I can tell you that.
Yeah. Maybe on the M4s then. Control back on over. And look at Renegades right now, just sitting comfortably on B. You'll see a quick movement in a second, but maybe they just say no. Maybe they go, right, this round could just be stuffed too, with Liaz and JKS both at half health. round not looking too good either.
Great smokes from Big. Love those. Molotov onto the truck as well to make it nice and easy for them to take that A bomb site, especially to secure the bomb. If the Ts have control of that truck angle, it makes it a hell of a lot harder for the CTs to be able to contest the plant. So we'll see if they do run something like that later on in the half in a more action-packed round than just, hey, let's go A, that bomb site's empty.
Let's go there. They've pushed all the way back. Oh, Grat's dead. 3 and 7. And I was kind of hoping this would go all the way. This is the start of it.
Jacob holding on to the guns, though, has, you know, been the main difference maker, because you see he's got 3k more than all the rest of the boys because he's been able to hold on to that AK so often. Hasn't had to buy the rifle, which is going to make a difference in this round if they want to buy. It's going to mean only one of them suffers rather than two. Indeed, they will.
What's Grat going to do?
What is, okay, so they're just evening out their money, actually. It's not a full investment. This might look like a pretty confusing buy, but if you look at how all their money's going, they're giving themselves a decent chance to win this round. Hold that thought.
Good flashes.
Quick, short B control out connector from Big. Is this going to set them up for something else, though? That's the question. Jacob makes a difference, though. The boost from connector. Right off the start there, but he's only with the USP. Tizian's taken an AWP tag from JKS. It's not going great for Big, but Smooya, he's on an adventure.
He's having a good time by himself. He's like, where's Grat? I need to take him. Doesn't matter what he has. Smooya will find. Yep. But doesn't take the shot. Now, Grat might be on a USP, but Godby did drop a gun. And all the way on the B side, if I'm not mistaken. Slow push towards A again, but Jacob this time holding a little bit closer towards the end of bathrooms.
So this is going to be the same exec that we saw last round, I think. Or maybe not.
Something feels different about Renegades this round. Might have the read on Tizian. The push comes through. Jacob, the opener there, gets the second. Big moves here by the shot caller of Renegades. And he'll just come in for the old reversey-do. Jacob with the third. No, make that a fourth. Next goes on to side. JKS, it gets the final one. And Renegades, a powerful round for them. You want to talk about evening out the money? Well, that did it right there, Pilly.
Well, I mean, that's just a massive financial boost there. They had 2k already in the bank. It was essentially a save from the last round that turned into a save in the next round where you just happened to have a bunch of guns. And they put those guns to good use. And now just look at the effects on their economy.
I think Godby just got knifed in the back. That's not a good way to start the round if you're Big.
Would have been the first time.
And it won't be the last. Next, peeking out from bathrooms. Sorry, excuse me, that's a playground. Grat, you dirty boy.
It's not fair.
It's just not.
Next did nothing wrong. He's just minding his own business in the playground.
Just trying to have a good time. And Grat's the bully. Throws sand in his face.
He's chilling in the sandpit, just gets clotheslined.
Grat gets another one onto Godby. What has this round become? Jacob as well, the spray down. He does it again. Grat this time, he just doesn't win against Smooya, but I think Renegades might laugh this one off.
It's all right. There's four other people on the big side. 4 other people for Grat to shoot, and he's pretty good at shooting the rest of them.
Grat had a much better round there. 2 kills for him. Good flash out as well to Smooya. Still finds Jacob, but Liaz cleans it up in the end. Renegades climbing their way back through. Money's still good there for Big.
Well, not quite.
But look, maybe.
Cobb's a little low there. Smooya a little low as well. I don't think Tapson and Tizian will be able to buy it. Probably a singular save, I would imagine.
Redefining good, I guess. Gonna be a save. P250 picked up by Tapson with a flash. P250's all around. Couple of deagles. Make that 1. All right.
See if they can make it work. There'll be a lot of people towards Connector. Grat is there.
Oh.
Cop's a dink, but, you know, he's alive.
And I bet that was by Smooya as well.
Well, he seems pretty keen to charge up connector there to finish him off as well, doesn't he?
Just wants to take down Grat each and every time. Would net him an AWP. He's already been dropped down. Tizian, an opening shot onto Jacob, but Grat gets Tizian. Now just has to find next, and shouldn't be too much of a job for him. As it takes a bit of a dink as well. I'll tell you what, Big is good at getting a bit of damage down, but it's only Jacob that drops that round. And Renegades, they've done more than enough here to make this half look very competitive. Overpass on the CT side, and that was the shot that opened it up.
I mean, fantastic round in general from Grat.
Ooh.
Really did all the heavy lifting for Renegades in that round, and you can't be too surprised. Jacob doubles up as well, but Grat, I mean, he probably played this map a lot with Greyhound. It was one of their better ones, so he's got a lot of experience playing this map as opposed to the rest of the Renegade side. Probably got more than the rest of them in terms of just how many reps he's had playing a map like Overpass. So he's stepping up right when he needs to be. Jacob as well, having a great game. Didn't need to do much in the last. So he was conserving his energy. He was just powering up, Jake.
He just wanted to have a good map too.
Last map. He was plugged in.
Different story this time. Look at this. Next is going to push through the smoke. Flashes out there. As the smoke dissipates, Jacob spotted out, but he doesn't get the opening frag. And it's Nex who kicks things off to a rolling start onto the A bomb site now. And Big pushing hard and fast once again as it takes a bit of damage on the way in. But Nex drops here as it in good positioning behind the A truck. Smooya just gets popped in the head. 1, 2, how do you do? 3, 4, they want some more. And it's JKS once more. The double AWP, the triple. Renegades kicking off to a flying finish here in the first half. It'll now come down to 7 apiece. And things have gone to okay to not half bad for Renegades.
Fantastic effort to come back into this game. Big, they were doing such great work in the earlier parts of their T side. They were getting that short B control. They were really suffocating Renegades, kind of strangle choking them out of the utility that they had, and then just
they like
hitting
that though,
into
Billy.
those bomb sites. Yeah, they do. And now, though, Renegades, they've broken free quite a lot. Put Big in a terrible position economically this round. Not a single AK in sight. All of the weapons that make you go, ew. Grat knows it. He's out for blood.
Doesn't get the second one, so just retreats off of long. The push comes up once again, but look at the peek through the smoke. Jacob on the other side. And Jacob eventually goes down. It's Grat onto Nex, who just gets another kill. Big picks here. He just flicks back out to Tizian. Gratisfaction. You are insane on that AWP. As long as it's not Smooya, everything works out here. Renegades end the half, 8 and 7. Coming back onto Overpass. And some individual performances again to be noted here, Pilly.
This is going to be a bloody close game, Jake. That's what I'll tell you. Renegades, let's see how their T side goes. I don't think they're going to have the depth that they need, to be honest. But if they get a couple good breaks, they get a couple of big plays from the lads in this particular half on the T side, then they could potentially be able to convert this map. But if it's a long drawn out affair, I feel like Big is going to work out very quickly that Renegades is probably going to have to go for a lot of pretty straightforward plays, you know, your 4-1 death squads, taking connector with a lot of players, a lot of quick B plays, I would imagine. Whereas opposed to Big, who on all of their T sides have a lot of depth.
Created 125 AD up. And that's what happens when you have a couple of great rounds, or more than a couple of great rounds on the AWP.
Doesn't count, Jake. Using the AWP for the ADR is a cheat.
You reckon?
Yeah, because you just get 100 ADR as soon as you click once.
That's why.
It doesn't even take any
That's why
effort.
you become an AWPer. You want to pad your stats?
It's point and click adventures, Jake.
Point and click.
It doesn't even.
I mean,
it's not skillful whatsoever.
Yeah, fair enough. I can see you're the AWPer of the team.
Totally.
Let's see how
and
things go.
I'm also the best.
You're the best?
Yeah, totally.
I believe you. Curious to see how Big go on the CT side. If they're going to be as forgiving as Renegades were in some of those rounds.
Love Grat's picture. He just looks so shook.
He just looks so upset. And he looks like he's still supporting Movember, so.
Good stuff. Leo's taking some duels out short B with Renegades though into these big plays.
Ooh, interesting push there from Grat. As it does get smoother though. A 2-for-1 across the board. Godby coming in for the flank. Leaz dies to 1. The peek from short. It'll be coming back out. That's Jacob. 3 versus 3. Tizian sitting up here in snipers. He's going to have the perfect angle onto JKS, but his timing once again. And Gobby was heading back towards A, but now realizes all the actions B. Taps in Tizian. They're coming in, sitting in ABC right now. Good flash onto Azar, but he's going to have to 2v1 Gobby. Jacob just ducks down, but on the reload, Azar now has to play for a bit of time because the push comes back in. Tizian great on the ankle. JKS playing it so slow. The defuse, it's sticking. And JKS is just walking up, maybe a little bit too late. In the end, it definitely will be. JKS gets both of them, but that doesn't matter. So pistol round over to Big. And that'll set things up for them this half.
Will Renegades buy? They are always a fiend for the AK drops in rounds like these. But they've got pretty good money across the board. There it is. Yeah, throws one over. Grab drops one over as well. They're going to grab themselves Deagles.
The party begins.
JKS is having a long think about what he wants to buy. He's gonna. He's got an AK with no armor. Interesting. Maybe a little bit of a miscount there. What are Renegades going to do with this though? Whew. Yeah, damage exchange in the favour of Big. Not to mention the fact that they know that, hey, Renegades, they have the AK-47s in this round. They're not meant to have that.
No.
The jig is up.
That's Grat who's going to be going forward first. Absent. Can't get that pixel gap.
So it's looking like a pretty slow one up towards 8. Pressure on Con and pressure on Party. Renegades giving Big a lot of tells for what their plans are. Not to mention the fact that who is that in their spawn? Tizian? Or is it Smooya? Smooya's in T-spawn. So I think they'd be pretty convinced that this one's probably an A hit at this point.
Yeah. Well. So
that's
slow
bad news for Renegades.
Yeah. It's going to be Smooya who's going to come in fast again. But again, that information, Azar moving back around. Azar is super low. He's not going to see this one coming. Just falls down the stairs.
This is going to force Renegade's hand on A, I would imagine.
They're going to move fast. Tizian surely expects it by now. Sitting here with the MP9, but still no move. There's 30 seconds left remaining in the round. At least it's making Big second guess a little bit here, but until now, Tizian caught out. Good timing here from Renegades, 20 seconds. Gobby sitting around the side, but it's Gratisfaction. Everyone taking damage from this. Scout, Tabson's done so much here, and he's done enough. That Scout, a pain in the ass, and it's Gobby with cleanup in the end. Big on 9.
3 alive. Great info play from Smooya. He finds his way into their spawn, gets all the information. They had the great crossfire on the bomb site. All the info. They held all the cards. Renegades dropped their spaghetti everywhere, and now they've got to save.
Not enough timeouts for a map like this, especially for a game like this. But Renegades one more after this one following.
I don't think Renegades is going to have much to do on the T side, to be honest. It already looks like they're, you know, trying to take some risks, take some shortcuts here and there. Haven't seen a proper gun round out of them yet, but, you know, usually when you see those forces dropping the AKs, doesn't really give you a whole lot of confidence that that's a hallmark of a team that's really confident when they get full utility and AKs up against the buy of the other team that they're going to be able to win.
Curious to see if maybe they adapt on the fly. Maybe if Renegades do have more. Or it is, as you say, it's predictability coming forward from Renegades. Tizian. Bit of a hunt that starts through. Smooya gets the angle there on short water. Tizian still hitting here behind Toxic. Doesn't even need to scope down. Jacob silences that pretty quickly. Next again. Renegades really struggling to deal with him. 2 more. Gratisfaction comes in hard, but not hard enough. So, Big get another.
But lost a lot of guns. It's going to put a lot of pressure on their money. Now Renegade's going to be able to buy. It's going to be a pretty important round. Big win this one. They're going to start to really run away with it. I feel like Renegades need this one pretty bad. You know, the scores might not indicate that, but Renegades being forced on, you know, buy, save, buy, save, buy, save, as opposed to putting Big in an awkward position money-wise at this point in the game. It's going to make their T-side a lot easier. Whereas if they keep having to adapt and change up how they play on the T-side, oh my god, what is... I have never seen someone get a kill from that position.
No. I did not expect that. All
Well,
right.
that was just the info spot. I didn't even know you could shoot through that gap. How many dinks was
I'd love
that with
to
the
see a
AK?
replay after that. After this
It's
round.
a pixel gap.
Yeah.
What's Liaz's crosshair? It's got to be so thin.
Like a line, like a pencil.
My entire crosshair would cover that. I wouldn't be able to see it, mate.
Yeah. Just make it see-through.
Play
Don't
with
have a crosshair.
Oh yeah, you can. You can make it see-through. It's true. All right.
You can just do the dot.
Anyway, that's a man advantage for Renegades. It's going to make things a little easier for them. Smooya, he's trying to even it up, creeping in the short part. Oh my god, timing. And Jacob, he's posted up, but he doesn't get it done. Now Tizian with the short B control. They're going to consolidate out Monster very quickly. Smooya trying to stay alive with short B. There's another one from him.
They just walk into him. JKS drops. At least Liaz takes him down, but you got to look at this point. What's the cost? Liaz pushing up, Molly down. But into ABC, Azza doing big work here for Renegades. Tabson finally being able to push out after this Molly.
Tizian's behind. Will he be able to get it done though with the MP9? He hasn't so far.
Tizian rushing up fast, but look at the range. May pick up the AK, but he has to ask for so much. Big round there for Renegades, Billy. You said at the start they needed this one, so it's not running away from them. 9 and 10, and it means that Big now, they're in a bit of doo-doo with the old cash.
Triple double save coming out. So, wouldn't be surprised to see a force out of Big. 2 rifles and a bunch of force pistols. Could potentially try to make that work for you. It's a pixel gap. Gob can see him. How many dinks was that? Probably...
I feel like it was 2.
I feel like he full autoed that as well. Like, you can't tap that quickly.
That was
Pretty
insane.
impressive.
Thank you, Observer.
Anyway, it's a save. Out from Big. Full save from Gob B.
How that would boost your confidence more than anything to get an opening frag like that in a round.
I think so. And this is the difference between Renegades and Big. Like, in a map like this, I think Big are very confident in their gun rounds. They're very confident in how they play normally. Whereas Renegades, they're trying to cut corners here and there to see if they can eke out a little bit of advantage, get a little bit of a surprise factor potentially to make things more difficult for Big. And it's working out for them. But if Big's confidence is well placed in how good their gun rounds are and how good it is once they get their money in order, then they should still have a pretty decent chance at winning this game. They're still in the lead. Renegade's going to be moving up to 11. The good thing for Renegades, though, is winning that last round and putting pressure on Big's economy, forcing them to save. As long as they close these rounds out cleanly, they're giving themselves way more room for error on a map where their T-side might not be as sound. They give themselves room for mistakes of being able to rebuy Tabson. That's great things for him, though.
Good heads-up play there from Big.
Liaz needs to stay alive. You can't lose more guns here.
Well, we'll survive. Got B coming in around the corner. It'll be Azza who gets the heads up and finishes it. So Liaz does survive in the end. 4 guns through. Only JKS dropping down. 10 apiece.
Well, Big buy. They are.
Guess so.
Double ult.
This is the round.
Or is it a singular? Did I see 2? I thought I saw 2. No, it's a singular. So it's a hero AWP, actually. Interestingly enough. These are the kind of, like, economic decisions that I would never think about if I was Big. If I was me, rather. Whereas there's clearly, like, this is pretty well thought out. They know that they can spend this money now and they'll be okay for later.
So it comes down to Tabson in this round. You look at where JKS is. It's just all about timing once again. Godby going to peek out towards short. He probably will drop down. Look at JKS just shadowing him. Eventually goes forward. The respect's there. Gets back onto site. JKS has done so much here. Just follows him
Renegades through. When he was there as well, they're all like sprinting up long. He's hurt so many pairs of boots.
Love the heads up there. JKS does survive as well. And you just saw Tabson drop down with the AWP.
Yep.
So that's gone. And Big just achieved nothing this round.
Yeah, a lot invested and didn't get anything out of it, so I mean, it wasn't really worth it. Goppy, you know, I guess he's going to be happy regardless to buy up a SMG or something next round. Never mind.
2 quick shots from next.
Yeah, things are getting a bit more interesting. They're going to grab themselves some guns. It's going to be great for Big, especially for Goppy. If he's able to hold on to this AK, it makes all the difference. It means he doesn't have to just settle with a rifle or a pistol next round. Renegades, wouldn't be surprised if they hunted. Their money's pretty good. Their money's worth more than Big's at this point. Potentially. Could be the other way around though. If you're able to kill God B and deny him having an extra gun in the next round, then that's worth it. But they're just going to save their money. Save their guns. Keep the momentum up.
Good story for Renegades. They'll take the lead for what feels like the first time on Overpass. I think it is one of the first times. Or is it maybe just someone who says, you know, it's the first time for me, but really it's not. Renegades, 11 and 10. And here we go. You look again at Big, and you look at the 2 AKs that have come through. Now, what is the result? An AWP just picked up there as well. An AUG back on Tizian. But does that go over? No.
Those guns that they saved in the last made all the difference.
Yep.
2 CZ kills. Gives them a much better buy into this round. It's actually Tabson on the AWP over Smooya, which is something we see sometimes. Made towards Fountain. Gonna dunk Jacob for a little bit of damage, but not too much. JKS grabs himself short B, water control by himself. Again. And that is huge. You can't measure the amount of impact it has to be able to have that kind of information. Having short B water here, he can hear all the rotations of the CTs. He knows that they're not aggressive in water, so the rotations down connector from the Ts are going to be a lot easier. Tabson is in a precarious position, but finds his way out.
Missed that opening shot there, but does know someone is pushing down long. And holding short there was no easy matter. Godby drops. Tabson has to push up into Grat. Now, Grat versus Tabson. That's going to be a new story to add to the mix. He couldn't beat Smooya.
There's a rotation back around though. JKS, he's heard the rotation from Next coming up from the B site up towards that A bomb site. He knows Smooya's jump spotting right above him. He can hear all of this. And he can count the numbers for Renegades.
JKS still there. I love the strength of this position. Flashes over. Smooya still behind Toxic. He's going to let them enter site. Liaz here, but the shot goes first onto Smooya. And Renegades have full control over B, pushed all the way back. Tabson on the AWP. Might just have to run for his life, but look at where Nex is, and Azza is approaching him. 1, 2, 3. Nex doesn't look too good. Tabson left with the AWP here. And 5 members of Renegades still alive. Grat has just spotted him out as well. Great shot there by Tabson. So close.
Grat's not allowed to kill someone if they have the AWP.
Yeah, that's right. The 1v1 AWP battle does not favour Grat. Oh. Nice no scope there. 2 health on Azza. Still, that's a win for Renegades. And Grat was the only one to go down. Things looking up for them.
Yeah, this is fantastic. JKS is doing a lot of good work from short B there. It's making their decisions a lot easier on the side of Renegades. Grat did a great job getting a pick there. So a lot of things going the way of Renegades that makes their decision-making process a lot easier than it might be otherwise on the T side of Overpass here. See if that's going to continue.
I'm wondering if they could come up with initiative and again, a bit of that improvisation that you need on the T side of Overpass. But
it's not only that as well, Big are looking very flat individually. Like there is that no one really stepping up head and shoulders above the rest, no one really playing out of their skin. And I mean, Renegades aren't either, but you know, it's Big who are under the pressure here. They could go out of this series right here, right now, on this map, whereas Renegades, they've got a bit more room to play with. They can play with the wind at their back.
Yep. Elimination match. We're out of the EPL. 750k on the line. And when you look at it, Odense is offering Astralis their Grand Slam. Tabson gets spotted out once again. He will get the kill, but he can't just go up and grab that AK, especially when Jacob's so close by in Playground. So Tabson has to retreat back. But if this goes the way of Renegades, which it should, they'll be on 13. And Big will probably have one last chance with that bye to bring back the momentum and get themselves towards that OT, which looks like that is a possibility. Or at least take a lead again.
So, one dying for Renegades, but they're able to navigate the anti-eco thus far. He's in a pretty good position, might get himself another kill on Liaz, but he's out of ammo now. Hunted down. Smooth is almost out of HP as well.
Close call, to say the least. Wasn't able to deny that bomb plant, which actually would have given Big a surprising round win, especially with 5 seconds left to go. But 13 on Renegades. And AWP back in hand of Gratisfaction. Look at the money. They're set for the rest of these rounds. But Big are not. This is their round. And they're going to have a little bit of a chat because they go, right, we need to buy here, or are we just going to spruce it out?
They're going to buy up. The question really is, are they going to double AWP? Smear hasn't been able to AWP on that CT side thus far, and it's pretty important for your AWP to have impact on the CT side of Overpass. So many opportunities, so many angles for you to be able to get free B picks on the T side, especially against a team like Renegades, who shouldn't have a fantastic T side on this map. Like, let's be real, they've had a really good run in this half thus far, but they're getting a lot of good breaks. They're getting some individuals who are putting themselves in good positions and making the decisions that they make a lot easier. Not to mention the fact that Big are playing a little bit flatter than them individually, so the duels are generally going the way of Renegades. Is that going to continue to be the case, or are these AWPs going to start to power up? Tabson with God B at the A site. Smooth is going to flash himself on that monster line, doesn't see anything though. JKS again, they've no answer for him in this position. Again, he's going to be able to hear all the rotations. He's going to be able to control whether people can push in and out of connector, whether people can take the short B control and stop the rotations coming back to B in the late round. Such an important position, and Big have never even touched him.
Every single time. And it goes unpunished. Double AUG, M4A1S on Godby. And right now he's holding long, but the utility comes out, sends out a bit of a spray, but can't do too much being double flashed like that. Has to give over long. And with a minute left remaining.
He's about to get shot in the back. And mine is going to be doing the shooting. The 1-for-1 though definitely doesn't favour the CTs here. Godby's going to have to do some heavy lifting to be able to recover this one. Next has rotated over very quickly though. JK should have heard that from short B.
Oh, but Godby gets the spray down. Bombs down once again. They'll pop back in, trying to encroach on him. The one tap there from Liaz, but he needed Nex. Now Grat is by himself with the AWP. And this will be a bit of a struggle. Nex is coming up behind him too, through the smoke. He'll eventually get the peek down onto the site. That was almost an insane flick, but he doesn't get it. And Nex ends around. Big on the board once more. That was their round to win. They needed that to stay alive here in this match.
It's been similar pacing the entire time from Renegades. Can't blame them considering they have so much information about the rotations of Big over towards that B bomb site, and they're able to play into the late round with a position like that. But it'd be nice to see them start to change the tempo up a little bit. It's going to be a little bit harder because Big still have good money and they're going to be able to react with, you know, Molotovs, grenades, counter flashes pretty heavily. We will see Renegades change things up though a little bit. Lots of players towards Monster pretty early on here. Jacob taking a little bit of a leak through the smoke there. But how well are Big going to be able to deal with this execute?
Push through coming now, but Tizian's got their number. They'll molly off Toxic, but it hasn't done enough. Liaz drops too. Azza just going to take so much burn there from Smooya. JKS can't get anything done this round for Renegades. It's falling apart. It's a perfect one there by Big. 13-12. We might just have ourselves a second map, and yep, that's a timeout.
I think it is going to be
Well
because I just don't have a whole lot of faith in what Renegades can do on their T side. Like, it's been great thus far. They've been doing a fantastic job playing with the rotations. They've been getting some pretty good picks in the earlier parts of the round. And, you know, we talk about it time and time again, but they're able to read the rotations due to JKS's great positioning towards B there. But when none of that is working for them, what else do they have? What else can they bring out? You know, we saw them try to go for that B execute. Big pretty much slaps that one away fairly easily. and now they have money control, which they haven't had this entire series, it feels like.
Yeah.
They have all the grenades, they have all the Molotovs that they need to be able to react to whatever Renegades throws at them, and Renegades are starting to run out of money.
I think Big have had control in general in a lot of parts of these series, of this series, excuse me. But Big now finally within reach once again of Renegades. Smooth tries to peek out and lower part of connector, but he gets nothing. And this position still being played by JKS.
I mean, it's Azur, and I think Rat's going for a peek on short B, so a bit of a different look this time around. Might be able to get himself hit as well, but the shoulder from the CT doesn't give it to him. Tizzy picks him from barrel as well, so another different change up from Renegades, very easily dealt with by Big. They're going to start to get frustrated pretty soon here, I would imagine.
Looks like it might be falling apart. Liaz there shuts door. JKS there just in time. Liaz has brought this round back, but as it peaks up short, maybe a little bit too ambitiously. Coming through. That's JKS again. Next does spot him out though. Smokes out onto site, but the jump down from snipers into water flashes through onto Nex. And Tabson again onto Liaz. Things have turned back in favor of Big. Great shot there by JKS. Now he needs Tabson, but he's not looking the right way. And Jacob's left on his lonesome again. Flashes through, but through the smoke. At this point, you got to think. Tabson's going to find him first. The shot's there, perfect. Tabson with 3 that round. Big equalize, 13 all. And oh boy, that's what you're saying if you're a Renegades fan on this map. The opportunity to close it out is getting harder.
It looks like they're really trying to force it. You know, it points to the fact that they're probably not confident in the way things are going on the T side going forward. You know, they've had a lot of great rounds thus far, but it really feels like this entire T side, the decision to force so early on, you know, after these slower plays are not really going as well for them. They try to execute fairly quickly. They try to force Grat to get that pick up short, but it really feels like they're trying to make it happen too hard. Whereas before, they were really making some well-informed decisions, and they're sort of out-rotating Big into later parts of the half again. I mean, this is only a half by, but it feels like they're trying to force the issue. They're trying to get up short B so desperately, but Big, they're just playing super standard. They're exchanging the utility. They're falling back off the angles just like they should be. And I'm sure they're very experienced dealing with a team that's trying to force the issue too much. Renegades need to go back to their recipes for success before and come the A smokes.
Well, they've all dropped down, but 3 members, now 4. Or now 4. The final one is Azza. No guns taken off the side of Big, nor will there be. And heading towards that match point. It was Renegades who pretty much saved a majority of last round. And here comes the buy once again. Grat only able to get body. No head armor for him on the AWP.
There's a tactical timeout for Big, but I really think that it's Renegades who need the time to think more than their opponents. They have been trying to force the issue a lot in the last couple of rounds. Need to go back to what the recipe for success was earlier in the parts of this T side half. Felt like that 3-on-3 where, you know, JKS got that spam kill through the wall and stuff. Could have been an opportunity, could have been the break that they needed, but they weren't able to convert that. So now they're going to have to earn it the hard way up against Big's monstrous CT side. They've got all the money control, they've got AUGs, they've got double AWP. Now, it's a whole different piece that Renegades is going to have to play with as opposed to what they've been dealing with the rest of this entire series. So, 2 questions for Renegades. How are they going to slow things down and not force the issue as much? And are they going to be able to deal with the pressure that Big's putting on them potentially here? Because, you know, Renegades can be that team sometimes that when things are back and forth, things are getting close, they can not really play to their full potential. Again, JKS making his way into short B, but Smooth's trying to punish him, stop him from getting in that position.
I like this one, Big.
Fall back though, they're going to probably jump spot. It's the triple boost. They're triple boosting at ABC.
Oh boy.
They're going to find JKS with this triple boost. No, he's ready for it. He picks got B.
He gets it. That's a big opener there for JKS.
Trade it back though. Tizian pushes Monster. He knows that JKS is a solid player over that side of the site, but he decides if A push.
Oh, Azza caught with a grenade. Nex actually gets away with 2. Grat will push up from long, but look at the flash coming out. And with the Org, he should just be able to turn around. Grat, even blinded with the Glock, finds it. And Liaz comes through as well. Onto site, Tizian here with the Org. They just need to run away. It's a 2v1. This is Renegades round. They put the bomb down. Now, they just have to outsmart Tizian.
They're very split up though. One false move, and that's a 1-on-1 for Tizian.
Coming into sight. The smoke's out. Don't know where Tizian is, but Liaz does now. I think Liaz that round was a saving grace. Couple of early shots that set up Renegades nicely. And we're at 14 all.
Biggs is starting to run out of money here. This could be the breaking point for either team. Very important round at 14-14. It's going to really define who is going to have the opportunity to close this game right here and now. Renegades, potential for them to close the series. Big potential for them to keep themselves alive. Give hope for the third map.
Miss Molly, I think.
Yeah, they'll be missing that quite often, actually. JKS again towards this B side of the map. This time, Smoothie going to pick into connector. Liaz needs to be very careful not to give the pick in that area. Rest of Renegades, they're over towards Party, trying to get that long A control again. Big's positions on the map thus far, very centralized. Double flash, 1 deep, 1 shallow, gets Renegades the long control. Tabson posted up towards long now from that signpost position. God P rotating up the stairs. They're going to push towards that toilet area rather than opt to play on the site. They're going to try and disrupt Renegades before they even get a chance to get going. On the other side as well, very disruptive. They've taken the short B control. JKS is left in no man's land towards Monster. So Renegades, they don't have a lot of these strong positions that they've had previously. They're going to have to be winning some aim duels here because Big's in some fantastic advanced positions.
So are they going to make the move? Azza at the front of it right now with Bomb. Jacob and Grat still holding on long. Flashes out. Godby avoids it. He makes a bit of noise. Azza has to be careful when he has the bomb. They've given the information over. And moves are going to come through now from Big. Godby holding strong here. Tabson with the AWP. The opening frag might look good for Big. There's 25 seconds on the clock here. In such an important round, a move needs to be made. Godby just walks out, but now it comes fast and quick. Azza onto Godby, but Tabson sitting here with the AWP. He gets a second. It's the bomb carrier. He gets the third. It's Tabson with the big plays. Make that a fourth. No worries. Big have played with time perfectly, and it's Tabson who steps up big here for Big. And Renegades, it's got to go to OT now. Otherwise, we're going to the third map.
They just couldn't get it done. The positions at Big were too far up. They had all the information. They knew exactly where Renegades was coming from. They knew what Renegades could and couldn't do, rather.
Yeah.
They couldn't go up and down that connector because Big had short B. They couldn't advance towards the A site. Heard all of them pinning the smokes. So much easier for those rotator players on Big to come up with the knowledge of exactly how far up is Renegades, exactly where can they be. Makes it 10 times easier, and now a lot of pressure on Renegades. They have to buy pistols, utility, and some armor. It's looking exceptionally good for Big. They've used a lot of their utility early on in the piece, though, here. So this could give a bit of a window here for Renegades, potentially, to win this round in the later portions.
Plenty to go around, though, for Big. And grim times for Renegades. 16-14. Be close, but not enough. And we would be going over to Inferno, I believe. And then everything is up in the air on a map like that. Flashes out.
Progression smoke up short A. Both of these big players playing towards long. Just relying on Nex to get info over towards that A site. They're not budging. Again, Big in some advanced positions, looking to take some duels with these Renegades players before they get too close. Smoke used on Monsters. Smooth's still got utility to be able to shut this one down, but Renegades making the good move here. If they can force a duel or two and it goes their way early on in this round, that nade though, great flash.
Oh, but the flash doesn't matter. Tizian gets a spray down. JKS pushes through to sight. Smooth comes fast as well. Liaz pushes in hard, but 2 versus 3. Now it's up to Liaz, but he gets just the foot. The flash out disrupts the flow from Renegades up through snipers, trying not to stand in the molly. Smokes out, will slow it down. Good flashes once again. Next just walks out. The nade comes through. A big hit here from JKS. He gets the tag, but doesn't find Tabson. And with the bomb defuse here, Renegades will drop 16-14 over to Big, and we're going to the third map, Pilly.
You could see signs of it right from the start. Renegades, they were forcing the issue so much up on that T side. They were trying to buy, you know, pretty early on in the piece with those AKs. They were really trying to force it out Monster or get out short A. It looked desperate from them at times, whereas that slower sort of pacing where they rotated around the map with, you know, good positioning and played into the late round was the more successful sort of approach from them. Whereas Big, they were happy to save on that CT side a lot of the time, even give Renegades a little bit of a foothold, because you felt like when they had money control, they felt confident. They felt like they knew exactly what they were doing, and it felt like they would win every time if they had control of their economy.
Yep. I think there was a change of pace towards the end of that game as well for Big. And they got Renegade's number at the end. It was better play from them. When we look at what we saw in Cage, wasn't that Big that playing bad. It was that Renegades were just one step ahead.
I mean, really, on this map in particular, towards the ending parts, it felt like Big was really adapting very, very well to what Renegades was throwing at them. You know, they realized that JKS getting a lot of information in short B there. They're getting a lot of toilet control, and you saw how disruptive Big started to play. They started pushing short B so often. They started posting Smooyer up to try to kill JKS so often. Towards toilet there, you know, you saw how disruptive Tabson was in that key 14-14 round number 29, where he just got so much work done. And in general, he was so fantastic on the AWP CT side towards that A site.
Yeah, ended up with a 4K there on that very crucial round. But as we go to Inferno next, it is everything on the line. Elimination facing both these teams. And Big, they held on. He'd be going, yeah, it's close, but a player like Tabson here, I mean, 31 in round 29. Not sure what he ended on there, but big moments and big plays from the member of Big.
Yeah, definitely. So heading into this last map, this should be a map that both teams are pretty comfortable on, Jake, which means that you'd expect a bit more of a closer affair. Renegades, they really need to focus on the fact that they played Big really close on their map pick. Cash was not a close affair. They absolutely dominated them on it. They need to realize that, you know, that was their opponent's map pick. They can't focus too much on the fact that they were front running and they had an opportunity to close the series right then and there. They need to say, you know, that was a really good effort and let's try to close it out on the third.
You'd have to expect that there's going to be something a little bit different on Inferno, because in the past, you know, Inferno has been one of those maps that we can just toss in the air and just flip a coin. Yeah,
and it always makes for a great best-of-3 decider, especially for a team like Renegades. They always make Inferno quite a playground for some exciting plays and some close maps that go on for quite a while.
I have been confirmed. Take Inferno out of it. It's trade.
All right.
You know what?
I remember. I thought it might not be Inferno.
It's like 2:20. So we've got all the excuses in the world. In Denmark, it's like midday, or it's like 1 p.m. or 2 p.m.
Yeah. So train a map both teams are comfortable on. The knife round's going to be super important, because when you head into a big pressure third map like this, whichever team wins the knife round and starts out on the CT side, it's going to make their job a lot easier. Whereas the T side team, if the pressure's getting to you, you're starting to lose a couple of rounds in a row. I've been there before. I've gone under so many competitions where T side train and you're thinking, oh, you know, it should be okay. You know, we have a pretty good T side, and then you're down 0-8 and you're like, no, why did I do this?
Hopefully it's a little bit better for Renegades, or if you're a Big fan out there, you're hoping for that, because now it's map 3. We are going to take a short break, but when we return, Renegades and Big fighting to stay alive here in the ESL Pro League. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this.